Welcome back to our series, Why You Do This and Don't Realize It. Today, we are tackling that all too familiar sinking feeling, that moment you say yes when every single part of you is screaming no. We're going to dig into why that happens and what it's really, truly costing you. Oh man, does this one hit home? You know the feeling. You hear yourself agreeing to something, maybe covering a shift you can't, or taking on a project you have zero bandwidth for, or going to some party when you're just totally out of energy. In that one moment, saying yes feels easier. But then the rest of your day, maybe even your whole week, just gets so much heavier. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not like you were confused. The no is right there, crystal clear in your mind. So what on earth happened in that split second between the question and your answer? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Okay, first things first, we have to completely reframe this whole problem. A lot of us have this story that people-pleasing is just, a part of being a nice person or a helpful person. But what if it's not actually about kindness at all? What if, when you peel it all back, it's really about fear?
Now, this is a huge shift in how we think about it. People-pleasing isn't some fixed personality trait. It's a learned survival strategy. You can think of it like this automatic program you developed, probably a long time ago, to navigate the world and keep yourself feeling emotionally safe. It's less about who you are and way more about what you learned you had to do to feel secure.
So what kind of fears are we talking about here? Well, they're usually running in the background, so fast you barely notice them. It's that fear that someone will be disappointed in you, the fear of having a tense or awkward conversation, and that deep, deep worry that if you aren't constantly agreeable and helpful, you might actually damage a relationship or even lose it. That yes feels like a shield against all of that stuff. This chart just lays it out so clearly. Real, genuine care comes from a place of choice. It feels calm, it's honest, and you can keep doing it. People-pleasing feels totally different, right? It's this urgent, high-pressure performance that's being fueled by fear. And that's exactly why one leaves you feeling good, and the other leaves you feeling completely and totally drained.
And look, over time, all those unwanted yeses really start to add up. They cost you your most valuable resources. Your time gets gobbled up by things you never even wanted to do. Your energy is just zapped, leaving you with nothing left for your own goals. Your focus is scattered all over the place. And maybe the biggest one of all, your self-trust starts to erode, because every time you betray your own needs, a part of you is listening.
So if we know it's so bad for us, why is it so ridiculously hard to stop? Well, the mistake a lot of us make is thinking this is just a mental habit. But the truth is, this pattern runs so much deeper than that. It's actually physical. This loop right here explains why it all feels so automatic, so out of your control. It starts with a simple request, but then your body takes over. You feel that squirmy discomfort, that tension in your chest. Your brain's number one job becomes, make this feeling stop. And saying yes is the quickest fix. Phew, the awkward moment is over. Relief. And just like that, your nervous system learns a very powerful lesson. Yes means safety. The loop gets stronger. And this is so, so important to understand. This is not a failure of your character. You're not weak-willed. You were conditioned. Your body is physically reacting before your logical brain even has a chance to get its shoes on. Understanding this is the absolute key, because it lets you solve the problem without beating yourself up, which, let's be honest, never, ever works. Okay, so if it's an automatic physical response, how in the world do we break the cycle? We can't just grit our teeth and decide to be tougher. That won't work. What we need is a real practical strategy to interrupt that conditioning. So let's get into the 3 steps to do exactly that. All right, here they are. Your way out: pause the moment, reframe your guilt, and define your limits. These aren't about trying to change your personality overnight. Nope. They are all about giving yourself a fighting chance in that moment of pressure. Step 1 is the absolute game changer. Just pause. You do not have to give an answer right away. You can buy yourself time with really simple phrases. Let me check my calendar and I'll get right back to you. Or, that's interesting, I need to think about that. That tiny little gap you create, it's everything. It's what breaks the automatic loop and lets your thinking brain get back in the driver's seat. Next up, you have to completely reframe your relationship with guilt. Because listen, when you start saying no, you are going to feel it. But that feeling of guilt doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. I love this quote. Think of it this way. Sometimes guilt is just the feeling that shows up when you stop playing the part that other people expect. That discomfort, it's a sign of growth, not a sign of failure. And finally, step 3. You have to get clear on your own limits before anyone even asks you for anything. Seriously, how much time do you actually have this week? How much social energy is really in your tank? What are your non-negotiables? Because if you don't know your own boundaries, you're basically just leaving the door wide open for other people to decide them for you. Now, here's where it gets really good. When you start actually practicing this, something incredible starts to happen. You stop playing defense all the time, and you start feeling empowered. You begin to see that setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away at all. It's about finally reclaiming ownership of your own life. Just let that sink in for a second. Every single time you say yes when you mean no, you are letting someone else's emergency, someone else's priorities dictate the shape of your time, your energy, and your future. It's these tiny daily choices that actually build the foundation of the life you end up living. And look, your boundaries aren't just some abstract idea. They are the active protectors of your most critical assets. They protect your time, which you can never get back. They protect your energy, which is the fuel you need to build things. And they protect your attention, which is the very tool you use to shape your future. So maybe we need a new definition of what a boundary really is. It is not selfish. It is an act of profound self-responsibility. It's you standing up and saying, hey, I am responsible for how I use the finite resources I've been given. I am responsible for creating the life I say I want. And please remember this. This is not about becoming a difficult or unhelpful person. Not at all. The goal is to become a clear person, clear about what you can give, what you can't, and what you truly value. And that clarity, it's a gift. It's a gift to you, and it's a gift to the people around you, because it leads to way more honest relationships. And here is the beautiful paradox in all of this. By learning how to say no, your yes becomes 1,000 times more meaningful. It goes from being a yes born out of fear to a yes that comes from real choice. And when that happens, your caring becomes more honest, your relationships become more real, and you finally have the space to build a life that actually fits you. So, I'll leave you with this question to take with you. The next time you feel that pressure, that urge to just agree, pause for just 1 second and ask yourself, what is the true cost of this yes? And is it really a price you're willing to pay?